Got it.
All right, ladies.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me. How's everybody's life today?
Hectic.
You said
Hectic. I just got off work not too long ago.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm trying to cook. My grandson's about to come in the door any minute.
Oh.
The topic. What about you, Dad? What's going on with you?
I was about to say nothing over here. The baby and them younger adults, but loving it.
Oh, the baby and them.
Yeah, the baby and them. You know, babies. The baby and them. They're here. You know, they're here, but I love it.
Right.
Waiting for I'm waiting for him to become that terrible. I'm just like, yes, fingers crossed. I'm waiting for it.
It starts out one. It starts before one.
Yeah.
But a poet scene, I just wanted to do this so I could get to know other artists around Pittsburgh, especially. Not just poetry, of course, but a little bit of everything. But I just want to have like little special moments and conversations like this because we all happen to be grandparents around the same time, and we all have grandsons, right?
Yeah.
All of us got.
Your grandson's the oldest right now between us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's large.
We did have two other people who were supposed to be joining us, Tasha Portis, and then my sister Dawnay. You know, they are also grandparents of grandsons as well. So they were supposed to be joining us, but Dawnay's at work, and Tasha is in Florida living her best life. So
going on. I ain't mad at that. Grandma's gotta have fun too,
right?
So my first question I wanted to ask y'all is, how did you feel when you first found out you were going to be a grandmother, and what was your reaction?
First?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, so when I found out, I had anxiety. I was scared. I felt like she wasn't making the right choice for herself, but I had to support her decision because that's my child. And then after all of that, I was in shock. And then after the shock wore off, I was like, oh, Grandma, I don't think so. I think I'm too young. And then after all that wore off, then I began thinking about the possibilities of having this new life, another branch to my tree, another lock to my legacy. And the fact that I get to raise him from the ground up so I can assist majorly on his development. So after all of that, I was kind of happy and hopeful.
Yeah, it is an emotional roller coaster. How about you, Dad?
I was shocked. I think initial thing, shock.
You're kind of cutting in and out, Dad.
Wow. Now, hold on. I know it keeps clicking. The green moving around. I don't know why. Can you hear me?
I hear you better now.
Okay. So I was shocked at first. She didn't tell me first. She told Wanda first. So I, of course, sister. And then she told me. So I was kind of shocked, but I knew already. I was pregnant because I know your body. After a while, everything about that outside. And I was kind of shocked. I felt excitement. I didn't feel scared. I was shocked. And then came the, oh snap, what is she going to do? If she's not, she's
ready or not.
I'm not going. That was my only thinking is say I got to be upfront and say I said I am taking on grandma duties, and that is it. And that is all I'm stepping into, and that is the role that I play, and I to be forward with from the moment. But I was supportive, but I was shocked. I'm still in shock. I every time I look at him, I think until he say Gigi, because that's what I have him, have him calling me, I think I'm still going to be in shock that he is here. And precious, like it's precious.
Is your TV on?
Mine's, yeah.
Can you mute
Let me
it?
turn it off.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's what's cutting us in and out.
Oh, for real? Because I got y'all going through my headphones. Okay, I turned it off.
Okay. Well, for me, my very first reaction, I had a feeling I knew because my daughter is paper thin. So we happened to be going downtown. We went to some arts festival or something. And I was taking pictures of her and Rain and, just reviewing the pictures when I got home. And I was like, this is weird. You know what I mean? She had on like a little belly shirt. She wasn't sure. So she didn't care. She still was wearing her belly shirts and stuff. Like, this don't look right. Like her belly ain't, something. But when I found out for sure, I was disappointed,
Okay. It
picked back up. Okay. Girl, I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Probably because
it said it crashed. I don't know. Hopefully it didn't, we'll fix
it. Pick back up.
Yeah. But yeah, I was disappointed at first initially. Like I definitely was like, all of those emotions went through me because I'm like, as a parent, especially as a single parent, how difficult it is, how challenging it can be trying
how difficult and childish men are.
Yeah. And it's like, you have to teach. There's so much to teach. You know what I mean? By the time they're 21, you still haven't taught them everything that they needed to know because there's so much out here that you have to teach them to be aware of and everything like that. So it's like, are you responsible enough to take on that responsibility of another person? This is a whole nother personality. This is a whole nother human that you have to care for way before yourself, So I was worried about it, but she doesn't complain at all. You know what I mean? She just does what she has to do because you have no choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do the raising. We're going to do the raising. I'm going to do the assistant.
Yeah.
You assistant pimp.
I'm an assistant. And them terrible twos come well before two. Okay?
Yeah, because my grandson's terrible.
I guess
and he was terrible since before he hit one.
Oh my goodness. Y'all have older ones, so I'm new. I have Kyori is just now 3 weeks, and he is doing everything that my son did. So I am petrified for her. He is like scooting, moving forward. He's scooting up on his knees and everything. He's been already doing it over. He's definitely since 2 weeks. You could not leave him on the couch. He's rolled. So I said no. Oh goodness. And I told her, just to hope you don't have another Snoop, I think that's all I think that was everybody that said, and everybody in my family, and it's so sad because everybody said, just as long as he's not another Snoop,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this baby is rolling. I said, oh my goodness, let me hear her now. Woo! Because that's a fitness plan in the making.
Well, Samori is 1, so he'll be 2 in November, and I like to collect Matchbox cars. I've been collecting those for a long time, and I have a bunch of them in my room. And he's like, car. I buy him his own car, so he can leave mine alone. But he's like, car.
You want your cars?
Car. I got him a remote. Then I got him a remote control car, like a nice little black one, little turbo dip, and he won't let me play with it, but he wants to go in my room and mess with my cars. And I'm like, get out of here. You know what I mean? He's just, but it's amazing to see these little people. Like
their little personalities, their little attitudes. Like, where did you come from?
Yes.
Who are you?
Ultimately, you.
I'm like, oh my gosh. My grandson walks around with his hand in his pamper.
Oh, shoot.
Playing with his little wee-wee. And then he points the sucker up, and then he pees out his pamper up, down, left, right, everywhere. I'm like, he gotta get potty trained because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's time.
He pees, and it don't even be like his pamper be overloaded. It's just he be in his pants playing with a pee-pee, and he flips it. I was like, this little dude.
Oh, boys are different.
Yes, my little Al Bundy.
Just wait. See, now I had all daughters. So this is my first experience with a boy. You have a son, you got Snoop, you got Alan. So y'all kind of had this experience already with them, like pulling it out. Because this boy, he does the same thing.
I say, Alan ain't do all that unless I wasn't paying attention. I might not have been, because I was fresh back in them days. But
turn around, if he had to pee, he didn't have. He would take it off. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, now he's taking it off because we're potty training him because he keep peeing everywhere.
Yes.
I'm like, everywhere. He'd be standing there, like, next thing you know, he just start peeing, and it'd be a whole bunch. Like, I'm like, you're like a little kid. Like, why are you peeing like a grown adult? Puddles. I'm like, what?
Like he had a 40.
Like he had a case. I'm like, what the? Oh my goodness. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait for the moments. I'm just not into like he's newborn. Hilarious. Because it just seeing it actually progress.
Yeah, that's the like the miracle. Like I think whenever you're a parent, because it's your first time, and then we all had our kids younger, we weren't really mature, so we were growing up with them. So my take on it is, well, from my experience, when my kids were growing, I didn't really get the opportunity to just bask in the glory of it all because I was so busy growing up with them, making mistakes with them. Yeah. But with him, I'm more stable because I'm older now, and I'm not making the same mistakes I was making when I was little. So I'm sitting back watching him like, this little dude. Did you do that when you was little? I must have forgot. Was I drunk all the time when y'all was little? Like, I don't remember nothing. Like, I don't remember none of these moments that I'm having with him. I'm like, damn, Alan did this? Like, I know I was there.
Totally
just
different.
Don't remember. It's a different experience.
Very
crazy.
It feels, I can definitely say it feels so full. It's crazy because you look at your child and it's like, because I know I catch myself saying, okay, don't hold them like that, or don't do that. And I'm like, hold on, back off.
Mm-hmm.
Back off and let her be mom, because she knows what she's doing. Like I can definitely say she's 26. So it's like, I was 16. She's 10 years older than what I was. So I know for sure, mentally and physically and where she's at, she's there.
Yeah.
Different from where I was, but I get to finally assist and be there and watch it and embrace it and be like, wow, this is amazing. And I don't have to for everything. And I'm not trying to go to school and do everything. And just trying to be a mom with a crazy, not know if you want to be dad and all those things that you going through as a person.
Yeah. Because we go through a lot. We go through more than, that's why I was trying to tell my daughter, like, don't do it until you get a little bit older so that you can live your life. You're a nurse. You're making good money. All you got to worry about is yourself. You don't even know if you're going to be with him. Don't do it. She did it anyway. Yeah. Well, I'm thankful she did it because I love my baby. But now they ain't together. You know what I'm saying? So now she's trying to go back to school to further her career. So guess who got to step up?
Yeah, you do.
He's finding himself right now. Guess who got to step up?
You do.
This is why whenever she told me I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, over the moon, like, yeah, because I'm like, nigga, you ain't even done with school. You're going to have to go back to school. He ain't going to be around. I already know that. So guess who's going to have to pick up the slack? Me and his mother.
Yeah, I mean, we do have those feelings because we've been through it. So you do be like, look, just wait, be patient.
Wait.
Your time will come. But the thing is, there's a reason they're here.
You don't want them to have to go through those trials and tribulations that we already been through. But I step back and realize just watching they are an echo of me. And in many different forms and phases of my life, just at different times. Yeah. Or I say no, the more those echoes are a little louder and louder. So I'm just gonna shut up.
That's true. That's true. I just was looking at it like because I felt like I went through Desert Storm, right? And I felt like I got out of the Army, early discharge. I got PTSD, I was a little depressed. You know what I'm saying? I just got myself together before I fell all the way off. So now I'm climbing back up the ladder. Yes. Here she go. Let's go, Sheila. Yeah. And then you gonna come and tell me another kid? Like, wait a minute. I wasn't ready for that. Like, I'm like, I'm not ready to be a grandma. She's like, well, but it's not your decision. But as soon as something goes wrong, who you gonna run to?
Mm-hmm. But that's going to always be
me.
That's going to be a child's response anyway. For is like when something goes wrong, they always come to their mom. Like anytime something's wrong,
but don't come to me with all this lip.
50 years old, and you're gonna be like, Mom. You know what I'm saying? That's just natural. You know.
I guess because I was more of that independent child, so it was kind of hard for me to constantly be like, Mom. You know, like I was a mom child. I did have a lot of people say dad, which was irritating because I wasn't a mom yet. But so I got used to being that go-to person. So I had to have broader shoulders, you know, like to say, I got to get this together. So watching her and watching her strength and watching how broad her shoulders is and actually seeing, because I'm like, oh my God, my baby's so quiet. She's so passive. She's not, and hearing her voice and watching her strength build and seeing that now she sees that I am the protector of someone. So I'm speaking up more. I'm seeing something in her that I wasn't able to see. And I said, okay, Lord, I get it. This is sometimes those blessings have to come in different forms to bring out what was meant to come forth. So I'm watching, and man.
That's like your validation that you did a great job as a mom.
You know what? It gave validation. I am leaving Pittsburgh. Finally leaving. Trying to get up. But at one point, that fear of, I can't just walk. She just had a baby. I can't do this.
Yeah.
What if, and seeing it is like, wow, I'm blossom into this mother. I can't even say mom, turning into the steps of a mother, and I don't expect it. All right.
Yeah.
Want to vent? Please vent to me, not the doctor, not your friend.
And damn sure not damn social media.
Some snakes in the grass. Sometimes they're not at your best interest. Some mouths are meant to just move. That's all they do. So call me, leave me. I used to call Ray Dawn and just scream or just cry. I didn't understand like how I got here.
Right, girl. But I blame Ray Dawn too. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for her, I would have never met this dude.
Don't be blaming me.
This is not my life.
I'm just playing. It's all
but
good.
Here's the thing, though. The thing is this: we have these worries and these concerns because we are mothers. You know what I mean? Obviously. And I can say this about y'all, and as well as why I invited Tasha and Dawnay. Y'all are awesome mothers. Y'all did the damn thing, and y'all still doing it. And
thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you. But this is why we probably shouldn't worry as much as we do, because they may not mimic us exactly, but we laid the print, that the foundation. The foundation. Mm-hmm. They kind of get it. They understand the nurturing part, which is extremely important, because when you put that child in front of your wants and your needs, especially your wants, you put that child first, and they see that we did that. We've been putting them first since day one. They're going to do the same thing for their children. They're going to go well above the way we raised them, I think. I really do. I think Precious is going to do a better job. Danae is doing a better job. I think Birdie's going to do a better job at it. And when the other kids, begin to become parents as well, I think they're going to do great, because we showed them. I mean, we partied, we had fun. They seen that, but they seen the balance. They seen
not as much. You know how much sacrifice.
They seen it though.
I didn't do it as much as, because believe me, we've seen it, that where some have done it as much. And I'm just going to pat every last one of y'all on the shoulders, because we could have done it as much. We went to school with a lot. I've done it as much.
Still doing it as much.
Like definitely
Out there at the bar with their kids as much. Like,
literally, woo, dodge bullets.
God take care of babies and fools.
Amen.
Hell of a bullets, because things could be totally, totally different. I don't regret none of it.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Everybody sit back and say, I wish I could change. I said, I wouldn't.
I don't want to change nothing. I had that conversation recently too.
You know, like, I think it made me who I am, and it helped me show, I think my children needed to go through that storm with me.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fact that they had to weather the storm with me, but they needed it. Not only did they give me the strength, but I think it helped me build them.
And it empowered them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I swear I had this conversation with my friend Nisi. We was walking and she was like, if you had it to do over again, what would you change? And I'm like, I wouldn't change anything. I said, oh, wait a minute. After I had my son, I would have cut the relationship then, but I wouldn't. I would have had my kids by him every single time, because it took his DNA and my DNA to create them two wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the reason that he was brought into my life, was to make sure that these children made it here, because God don't make no mistakes. After I had my son, God was like, okay, it's over now. You know he ain't shit, but I kept holding on. That's my fault. That ain't God's fault. Right. He was put here for these two little blessings, and after they came, it was like, all right, you already know he ain't shit.
Believe me, I had 3.
So
funny, because after my son, he was like, all right, you done, girl, go ahead. What I do, I went ahead. I said, all right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just pick up and go. Y'all can have this whole house. I leave it to. I left it to Marie. I left everything. Furniture, car.
Like, your services are no longer needed. I'm out.
Everything I needed to succeed and accomplish, and what I needed to put into, I left it right there.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's what's best.
Yeah, like, I shared it what was there. I took my blessing. That was
exactly. Yeah, your blessings and your peace of mind, because peace of mind is priceless.
Yes, it is. Teaching them, I think that's one thing I said to her. I said, don't forget, in the midst of raising your child, don't forget about yourself. Yeah, I think a lot of
I forgot about myself.
We always forget it, because I've done it. I've lost me in the midst of raising my children. When they turned, I think when she left for college, I sat down and I was like, okay, now what the hell do I do now? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, do I live for me? Because now, do I allow myself to have that relationship that don't really concern them? Do I allow that lifestyle that doesn't really concern them?
Well,
a minute, you know, and a lot of people say, oh, your kids are always going to know, because once they become their own, it's only you.
Mm-hmm.
You are
That's where I'm at right now, girl.
World outside them, and you have to actually mentally take yourself there to say, I am allowed to do this, because you keep for doing it. You feel like you're praying their time and their trust. As they call, we be Johnny on it.
Like, you need something? What did you need?
I'm allowed to say no. You know, like, I'm allowed to say, I'm doing me right now. Yeah. It took a lot for me to get there. It took a lot for me to say, I can't pick up the phone right now.
I still got a long way to go.
I'm about to say, I still be picking up my damn phone. Sure.
Rain is only 7.
Like, I do.
Well, those 2 kids is grown. They grown people. Well, I still be like, what?
It's crazy, because I still stumble. Like, Snoop is 22. He's the baby. And 24 and 22, and I'll still be like, hold on, what's wrong? Or,
what do you need?
On my way. Like, literally, me and Ray Dawn literally went to dinner, and happened over here. We was over here. Like, there was like,
that was like, what, 2 weeks ago?
Like, we was there. Like, okay, it's a motherly instinct, but
it is.
It's literally, I'm learning, and I'm still learning that it's okay to allow them to live without, you know, outside of me. And I'm allowed and entitled to live for me now.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've been paroled.
Yeah,
Well, I
right.
have another question about being a grandma, because this was a conversation about being a
I
grandma.
know they would turn them off.
We're gonna have to have another couple of conversations because we could talk about a whole bunch of other stuff.
Hey, being a
Yes,
grandma.
we can, because I'm over here cooking for my granddaughter right now.
I know, being a grandmother, I'd be ready to verge of tears because I'm actually really, I call it a Gigi because I want him to call me Gigi.
That's one of the questions I was going to ask because, okay, let me ask you first, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what some man said to me. What is the name that you're going to have your grandson call you?
Call me grandma.
Right. I went with Gigi, and the only reason why I went with Gigi is because my mom is still here, and I know he's going to call her grandma. He's not going to call her great grandma.
No,
Right,
he called
yeah,
my grandson called both of us grandma. He
Yeah,
know
like
that's my mom, but he know that I'm his grandma. But when we were both there, he'll come over, but he'll go to the grandma he's talking to, grandma.
I chose Gigi. I think I chose it. Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why I chose it, but I liked it better.
Yeah.
To me, it was just something that sound better to me.
I wanted to be Mimi, but he was like, nigga, grandma. I was like, Mimi. He was like, nigga, grandma.
Nope, your grandma. Now, I don't mind. I'm not going to mind not being called grandma. His mother is, Bertie wants him to call me Bonita, and it means beautiful in Spanish. So
yeah,
that's something that she came up with, and I'm like, whatever, but grandma's fine with me. However, I was talking to this man briefly, and he was like, oh, you have a grandson? And I'm like, yeah, I got a grandson, he's 1 year old, whatever. Oh, you gonna let him call you grandma, or you got some other little nickname? Because Black women don't like to be called grandma. I was like,
what?
they always gotta be
got
extra
something
with
to
us.
say.
They police for hair or
Why
body.
y'all always got something to
grandma.
say about why do we always have to be singled out like this? Like I had a whole rant on a guy. That was the last time we had a conversation because I didn't think that we could actually.
That's ignorant.
I thought it was too. I thought it was a dig.
His intellectual being was ignorant, period. A lot of people take a lot of things that happen for some reason. If we start doing something, because we were not the first to start doing this.
No.
So what they understand is we were not. But we are allowed and entitled. I have had grandparents don't even be called their name, like their grandmother. They are called their name. There was one, her name was Nina. They called her Nina. That's what she wanted to call, and that's what y'all gonna call me, because that's what everybody called me. That was a grandmother who is actually 106 now, and she's from Mississippi. So
you better call her what she wants to be called.
Fact, what she said. So
she said what she said
because of our skin color. It was more of respect. It was an entitlement. I was given a name. Back then, they were proud of their names. They didn't have those, you know what I mean? It was not the name that was given to me from someone else. It was a name that I was given in my birthright, not the name that they switched and gave me. So I want you to call
or they will call them grandma Nina or grandma Anna or whatever. Yeah.
Call her grandma. We called her Big Mama. Why? Because my grandmother was still here. So it was Big Mama, Grandma, and then there was another grandma. Like our generations was still here. So you didn't walk in and say, oh, they go Grandma 1, Grandma 2, Grandma. That's Grandma, that's Big Mama. Like it's nothing that has to do with Black people, because it's with the Puerto Ricans, it's with the Hispanics, it's all of them. You're not going to walk in and they're all going to say, oh, that's Mimi. No, they're all not Mimi.
Yeah, I mean, I just took it the wrong way, and I just felt like that was a dig. He tried to laugh it off, of course, but I just was like,
he said it the wrong way. He did, and I'm quite sure he
did what people do all the time. They put us all together. They stereotype us. They go up us all together.
It wasn't
all Black women.
Was he what, Dad?
One of our men.
Of course. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, of course he was.
I don't know why. But
and older, and like in his 60s. I was like, yeah.
You should know better.
Yeah, you should, but they don't. And they come for us. my thing is, instead of embracing us women, embracing what we want, to them it's a disrespect because they have no control. So embrace it. We are saying what we want. We are saying how we feel, and we are going with it. So yes, young Black men, embrace how we feel about us becoming young grandmothers, because we are not the first.
I'm about to say, we're not even young grandmas. Correct me if I'm wrong. We in our 40s, ain't we?
Yeah, but I think our grandmothers are like 40 years older than we are.
My mom was a young grandma too.
Yeah.
So was my mom. They call her Nana. Mom's name is Nana, and everybody knows she's Nana.
Yeah.
Like it's because my grandma.
I tried it. I wanted to be Mimi.
What's so crazy, because I wanted Gigi, but he can't talk right now. Ain't no telling what he gonna call me.
What he gonna say? Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. Because his other grandma was like, "I'm gonna just be grandma." I said, "Well, I'm gonna be Mimi." Hey. So I had all them calling me Mimi, and as soon as he started talking, this nigga gonna be like, "Grandma." I said Mimi, nigga.
You tell me. They say, "Go get your grandma." Grandma.
They don't call you what they want to call you. Actually, you don't even call me grandma. They call me Stinky, because that's what I call him. I'd be like, "Bye, Stinky." He'd be like, "Bye, Stinky." Peace.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they copy off everything. They observe and they sponge up everything.
Oh, I love it.
Throw it back at you.
And everybody got a name for him. He got like about 5, 6 nicknames. And instead of, he calls everybody what they call him.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm gonna need.
I call him Stinky. He be like Stinky.
Fuss.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's hot. I had to come outside and get some air.
Well, you stay outside because you move. When you move around, you're skipping.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I was cooking. I told you I was cooking burgers and fries. Then I had the TV blasting. I'm sorry. Okay.
They are for me.
All right. Another thing, was y'all in the labor room and did you cut the umbilical cord?
Yes, I did. I wasn't supposed to be. I actually decided, because we all had to talk, and I was going to let Cookie, which is her sister. I was going to let Cookie experience it, because one day she may want to have kids. And I've experienced so many births. I've been in, I think, all the kids, huh, right on.
Yeah.
I've been in, all the kids. So I've been in all your kids, all my sister's kids, all my kids. I've been at a lot of births. I've cut a lot of cords. I was like, I'm okay. And even though it was my first grandchild, that's my daughter. They have a bond also. And through her pregnancy, they're built a lot stronger.
They got closer.
Way. So I said, I'm going to allow them. But Kyori said, no, I'm going to come the next day. I don't want to see my aunt first. So I'm going to see my Gigi first. So I said, oh, okay. And her labor, she is 1 in 22,000 that epidural or spinal tap will never work. Yeah. So she have him natural. Now she had that he was going to be natural. Then out of nowhere, she said, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and y'all can give me the epidural. Then mid smack, she said, okay, I've decided y'all can just give me a C-section. I'm like, this is not how this works. Like, it's not how this goes. So she had to have him natural. And she did an excellent job. Even though she fell asleep.
She did a good job.
She did an excellent job.
That's a lot of work.
But it's a lot of work. And watching it through your child, I held it together and I cried after I left. I was petrified. I was scared. She went through so many things as far as she couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of complications she was going through with her body. So it was scary. It was so scary and stressful, but trying to stay calm for her was like, all right, Mom.
Yeah. That was something too. Like when she would used to text, she would text me and, you know, be so worried and everything. Like I'm on my end, you know, she can't see me and I'm like, oh God, you know, but I'm texting her back and I'm like, you know, it's all good. You know, God got you. You're going to be all right. You know, she did go through a lot of complications, but I figured I would stay calm for her because Precious is she's precious. You know, she's precious, and
Absolutely.
she's just a sweetheart, you know what I mean? But she went through it,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that everything turned out okay.
Oh yeah.
You know, y'all had to switch, right? Because they wasn't allowing you and Cookie up there at the same time.
One person at a time.
For real? Because me and New was in
Yeah.
there the whole time. Actually, me, New, and Tammy and my mom was in there, but they put my mom and his mom out.
But he came before COVID.
Yeah, he did. He came October,
That's-
what was that,
19.
Yeah, October of 19, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's why.
And during
And he cut the umbilical cord. I let him go ahead and do it because he was there and he participated. He did a good job. And Danae's a nurse, so she's like, let me see my charts. Let me see. What's my pulse off? What's my this? What's my that? What's my this? Well, once they found out that she was a nurse, then they had to call in the people that actually knew what they was doing. So then other nurses came in, and them other motherfuckers that didn't know what they was doing, they left. They like, oh, she know too much. I'm like, that's because she's a nurse.
Girl, when Leasia gave birth, I was in there so mad. I didn't cry when he came out because
I gotta go get my fries. Is it gonna break up?
Go ahead. I was so worked up because the doctor, her doctor wasn't there yet. And the doctor that was there, you know, she didn't bust her bag all the way. And she kept on trying to tell us like, oh, he don't got no fluid. We're going to have to do a cesarean. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, no, you don't. You're not going to keep on coming in here, keep on trying to talk to me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I know a little bit. I'm not a doctor and I read. I'm in the medical field, but I'm not going to sit up here and just let you tell me you're doing everything right because I felt it in my heart she wasn't doing it right. Man, her doctor came in there. We was going through this for hours. Her doctor came in there, checked her, was like, her bag's not all the way busted her bag within 10 minutes. This baby was like, I'm coming out.
On my way.
And I'm like, this is what I was saying. She was trying to like force my daughter to have a cesarean. I'm like, no.
I don't understand why they do that because they do that to a lot of Black women. You know, they be trying to get us to get cesareans and they try the same thing with Darla.
You think it's just they do it with just us or they just do it?
I don't know no white ladies that had babies, so I can't. Besides cesarean,
I think cesarean is. I think it's just a price difference. It costs, huh?
I think it's an easy way out, the cesarean, because they can get you in and they can do what they need to do without any hassle from you.
And they charge more.
Right. There's no. You can't say nothing. They're in control now.
Yeah, they that's how they got. I had a cesarean with him, and I probably didn't even need to have a cesarean, but they made it seem like I needed one, and I was young, so I'm like, all right, go ahead. And
they tried that with me too, with Birdie. It was like, she's taking too long to come out. You've been pushing for a couple hours. I was like, no, like, give me a second. She's coming. I was scared to death to be cut.
Yeah, they cut me. They chopped me like I was hot.
I was scared.
Like, Lily, that's crazy at birth. She was a whole sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
That was a very big baby.
That's
the first I ever seen flat.
Sack of potatoes.
I've seen somebody's whole stomach go flat on one side and the other side just be up. I'm like, oh, that's just a baby. There ain't nothing else in there. That is baby. And she, like, you pushed forever. I put her in there forever. And I got mad at the doctor. And I seen your doctor. It's so funny. She came in and Precious.
You remember this?
Yeah, I remember everything. But the sad thing is when she came into the room with Precious, she said, I know your face. I said, yeah, my best friend had our kids here. She said, oh my goodness, you still look the same. I'm like, yeah.
Get out of here. You ain't tell me that my doctor,
yeah,
the doctor that delivered Leasia was the same one.
She came and helped Precious. It was so funny.
Wow.
She looked at me,
That's
she said,
crazy.
I know your face. I'm like, I know your face too. I'm
That's
like,
18 years ago.
I said, no, but my best friend did. She said, I know your, I'm like, oh goodness, this is sad.
If you would see her now, they probably remember this great big old baby.
She was huge with her wild hair.
I had a sumo.
Her the hell out. She was like, oh my goodness, back. Like what the she was huge. Me and your grandmother was just looking over her like she like 12 pounds. Like she's long and just I'm like, no, she gotta be. I said she's like 10.
She was 10, yeah, 10-3.
Your grandma was like, no, she's like 11. I'm like, I'm telling you, that's a sacrifice.
And it took her a long time to cry. She was just looking around. I'm like,
she was observing. She didn't know what was going on while y'all took me out. Because remember they your water and she was in there. And to me, I got mad because I kept saying, can she breathe? My thing was, can she breathe? Because your whole entire stomach went flat on one side. Like to me, you know how a blanket wraps around somebody and it suffocates them? Yeah. Scared out of me. In my mind, y'all killing the baby. I'm losing my goddamn mind. Hurry up, or I'm going to spaz out. Everybody getting beat up in this hospital. I don't know what's going to happen, but my mental is not right now.
Meanwhile, it was just her, because you know she played too much.
Yeah, just literally was chilling. Like she was like, I'm out when I'm ready, because right now y'all keep telling her to push, and she pushing, and when you push, I felt like she was scooting back. Like,
she was.
Like not yet.
She wasn't ready.
No, you know what it was? You know what it was? It was that drip. So, you know, they give you that button, the drugs. They give you the drugs. And then you can press it as many times as you want, but of course it goes.
It only comes out
so time or whatever. So they gave me that drip and that slowed down the labor. So what I was trying, that was another thing that she went through when she gave labor is they gave her that thing. And I said, stop pushing that button. You're slowing down your labor. Huh?
I ain't get no button.
I did, girl. They gave me that.
Wait, I got the button too. What happened, girl?
That's the only child I got a button with. I don't know why, but it was like, they had it on a timer, like, you know.
Yeah, I had that with Alan.
I couldn't.
With Danae, she was so little, I didn't need no button with her. But with Alan, I had the button. I was pushing the shit out of that. The nurse was like, it only comes out.
You can push it as many times.
You just pushing it as many times as you want. I was in there like Pookie scratching this shit. Like, I need another button. Give me a push. Another kid.
But Snoop, I had a spinal tap. Remember, I had him 2 weeks after because I had a dry birth with him. Precious, when I found out I was pregnant too, I had. Cookie, I had to have natural because they gave me the epidural and I only got numb to my knees. And yeah, because they tried to hurry up and give me the epidural because when I went in with her, it happened so fast. But she was not waiting. She was ready. Yeah. And you feel this, I'm holding on to the wall. My mom peeling my fingers off, talking about she ready. I am not ready for this. Nobody was not part of the plan. I could feel all of this. No, she really peeled my fingers off. I had her escorted out by the police.
Don't do her.
No, she finessed herself back in, but I sure enough did get her put out of McGee Hospital by Pittsburgh police. To arrest this lady. She's trying to make
her
me
out of here.
Like
them,
I don't know.
Epidurals ain't the stuff neither. Them after effects. When after I had rain, I had them side effects. They was the worst side effects I've ever experienced in my life because I never had no side effects with the other kids. But after I had rain and me and her were home by ourselves because the kids were, you know, back in school, and it would just be me and her. And I was calling the doctor almost every day, like, I'm about to die. My head, it felt like something was coming, shooting up my back real fast, and then just like spinning around my head, and just like my head was just, I felt like my head was like this big. It was throbbing. It felt swollen. I was getting numb, and just like all these different, it was horrible. I was like, I can't do nothing with this baby. I'm like, I kept calling the hospital, like, I'm about to die. Like, somebody has to come get my child. And then my milk was taking so long to come, and I was getting stressed out about feeding her. I'm like, she's not eating. I can't hardly hold her because I'm afraid I'm gonna drop her. Remember at the hospital, I ended up with them chills and I couldn't even hold her. So these are the things that we didn't want our kids to experience. Like, don't just wait.
I was scared. Like,
I was scared as hell.
And I tried not to show it because I'm like, she was already scared because she went through so much having him. And there was so many complications just going through her pregnancy. So having him was like, it was scary to know her oxygen levels dropped and like so low. She developed so many different conditions while being pregnant with him. So it was like her body was literally rejecting so much of this pregnancy that it's like, you know, let's go. And at that point, her body was still rejecting. So it was
more. Yeah, I tell all these kids, you know, Destiny just had her son, so that's why his name is Honor.
Honor.
I think he's like a week or something.
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, he's like my little nephew, well, great nephew. He's his name is Honor, a King is his middle name. And I can't speak for Dawnay, but she loves it now. You know, of course, she probably was disappointed because Destiny's so young, you know, that like I was disappointed in Leasia as well. But I certainly lost my train of thought. I started thinking about Honor. Like I even see him in a couple. No, I think I did see him yesterday. I called her on FaceTime. But what I was telling the kids, all of them, after they all had these first babies, I was like, now look, anybody who do this more than once, that's called insanity now, right? You ain't insane. And they like, well, what about you? Yeah, insane. What are you doing this again for? Like, don't do it again.
Well, Cookie said,
well, not now. Just get your life.
And I was holding the baby. This is Cookie. Y'all are such good mothers. I can't wait for y'all to babysit my dog. What?
Not the dog.
I said, so she said, I just would like for everybody to normalize not thinking everybody have to have kids.
And that's a whole nother conversation. And she's right. She's absolutely right about that. Everybody, it's okay to not want kids. Like, it's okay. And people make you think because you're
okay. And I also think we need to normalize preparing to have kids.
Prepare.
I'm pregnant.
Because that is it's so hard at the mental aspect of it, because I think that part is something you can never ever build, because it's forever growing and forever changing. That mental capacity of it is serious. And I think every parent and every mother should be in therapy. And I don't think people even understand it, and people understand why. And if you can't do therapy, try to get you a book that you can write down your feelings, something that you can do to express you, because you're going to feel like you want to be a mom, and people are going to tell you that's effed up and that's this, and it's a normal feeling. It's normal. It is a normal feeling. That's not something you did not come into this world with another kid. Like, you ain't come in as a mom. It's something that we grow into. They're like, oh no, it's just who we are.
No.
We actually become others. I didn't just down and say, okay, so when I grow up, I just want to be a mom. No, I wanted to be a child psychologist. I don't even know what the hell happened. I'm still looking around. It's funny, I came down the steps the other day because being over here with them is like, okay. I said, y'all, I got 3 kids. I still look at them. Mind you, they in their 20s. To me, Deborah, I have 3 young adults. Like, I can see y'all. Y'all are
like, you're really here.
You're here. If I blink and open my eyes, you're still here.
What? Y'all are still breathing and y'all still here. Like, look at y'all.
Alive. Like, and you're still alive. You're half decent, got all your teeth, nice smile. Like,
you got all
did a good job.
It's going through it. Going through it is it's a task.
Tell them that it's okay. It is okay. I think teach, especially the young mother, that it's okay to not be okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or always told, no, you have to be, and you have to this, and you have, and that irritated my soul growing up and hearing them say, well, you can't be like that because you're a mom now. What?
There's a whole bunch of horrible moms. Let's not get it twisted.
Yes, like older, it's like if that one person would have just said that it's all right.
It's okay. You
know,
gonna have off days.
Honestly,
Yeah.
and a lot of trials and tribulations that would have turned out totally different.
Close the door.
You know, if just that one moment of saying it's all right to not be all right. Because
I had those. I was blessed. I mean, I you know, my mom, my dad, they I had a support system. Like I had my Aunt Angie. She's like, you don't got to know it all, honey. You don't know it all, you know, but you gonna learn it all, honey. You know, I had those type. My grandma Holyfield, she was support. I had support. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. Like, you ain't all right. Well, goddamn it, I know you ain't all right. Look with everything you're going through. You can't possibly be all right. Don't fake it. Cry about it. Let it go. Release it. Get it out.
Big support. I thank you, Ray Dawn, and my sister.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, you're so welcome. Because I drove y'all freaking insane. Y'all, let me just tell you, just having a support team is important. Like
Makes
I do,
a difference.
My mom, everybody know my mom is tough, and my mom is and upfront. She gonna say what it is, how it's gonna be, and what's going on. Ain't no sugarcoating. I ain't got time to smooth this over for you. Look, I'm gonna give it to you 100%. Either you're gonna take it or leave it. Now, how you roll with the punches is what you gonna do. That was Sheila 100%. That was my grandmother 100%. I was more soft for it. So I wanted everybody to be okay, even if I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to learn. Now, you know, I'm a little off, but you know, I'm good.
I think we all got PTSD. I really do. Just from living, like we survived gangs, we survived like a lot of violence and murder in our communities. And then on top of that, compile all these bad, like relationships being bad, loving people that didn't love you back, all the you know, after all the things that you go through, you know, just living, not even necessarily anything extra, just getting up every day. It's not normal to get up, go to school. Oh, he's dead. Oh, this person's dead. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like we all suffer from effects of the shit that we grew up, you know, under.
That was normal, and I was afraid for our kids to have. I didn't want that normal for them. I didn't want them to have a funeral every other, you know, Friday, Saturday. I didn't want to go to the classroom and be like, Dad, he ain't here no more, and not
know. That was Peabody for you.
Yes,
that was traumatic.
Sick or dead.
But I'll say it wasn't traumatic for me until I got older. Like when we were living in the moment, yeah, it was fucked up. And I was sad, of course, you know what I mean? But I wasn't traumatized. Like it all, for me, everything piled on me all at one time. The you know, everything that I went through in my life from childhood up until now, it all piled in all at once. And then it was like, oh, and then my cousin reminded me, oh, all the stuff you've been through, I don't think I would have made it. And I had to think about that. Like, what have I been through? And then I started thinking about it.
Well, you've been through a lot of shit.
And then I got therapy. but it all piled on all at one time. And
yeah,
you know,
because when you're younger, you're resilient because you're living in the moment. You're living for today. You're not living for your future. You know what I'm saying? When you get older and you start reflecting, then it starts hitting you. Things start hitting you different.
Now we can actually sit still for a minute. And when you sit still, your brain actually allows it to open up those things that you closed off. Because I have boxes that are opening and I'm like, when the hell did that happen?
Close it back up, go away.
You know, and I want to close a lot of stuff, but then I want to peek in because I'm like, where the hell?
Do I want to see it or not?
I know.
Some stuff you don't remember, and you're like, oh, at that time I went through that. Because you have to look yourself at yourself and be like, I went through that. I'm still, I went through that. You sometimes don't even know your own strength until you actually sit with yourself.
Review it. Have a review.
You know what I mean?
To review everything that you've been through. Then you see like that.
Out your strength.
I'm a rider for mine, for real.
Yeah, it do.
We're gonna have more conversations. We're gonna have a trigger and trauma conversation.
Oh Lord,
we're gonna have all types of conversations, but we didn't got off the topic of
again.
Grandma,
I was trying to bring us back.
I'm gonna end it with this because this is important to me. What is your prayer for your grandson? Like, what's your go-to prayer? I can tell you mine, but I want y'all to go first.
Wow. What do I say to him? What do I pray for him every night? I was about to say, because it changes.
It changes, but what's your like main things? Because you may say the same thing in each prayer. You might find yourself saying the same 2 or 3.
I always tell the Lord, keep him healthy, happy, and humble. Keep him safe, and keep his eyes open. I always say, keep his eyes open, his heart full, and his arms ready to love. Those are my words. Those are the same ones that I can repeat. The other ones just come, but those are the ones that I always keep in there because I want him to be able to receive and not just give.
To give, yeah. That's a good one. What I say, keep him healthy, make sure he's happy. I always say, bless his parents and his support system so that we can create a foundation that is positive and loving so that he can springboard off of that. Because if your foundation's cracked, you're going to have to travel all the way back down to your foundation to fix it before you can move forward.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, no matter y'all ain't together, okay, that's fine, but y'all can still co-parent. Y'all can still rock this thing out and make it a positive experience for him because at the end of the day, he didn't ask to be here. So all your fussing and fighting, all that little petty little shit that y'all talking about because y'all being selfish and y'all think about yourselves, y'all can't think about yourselves. Y'all got to think about him. And no arguing in front of him. We're not doing that. If y'all want to argue, take your asses out this house, up the street, around the corner, wherever you want to go, or drop him off at Tammy's house and then y'all can argue all you want. But y'all not going to do it in front of him.
Or text real mad next to each other. Like,
no, because then they'll say, I ain't reading that shit and blocking.
One of the things that I say about Samori is when he was born, I call him the wise man. And he just started picking up on things really early. So yeah, I just started calling him the wise man, but I do pray for him to be a great protector and provider of himself first so that he can, protect and provide for the family that he creates, and that he will be the type of man who will not cause any trauma in the woman that he's with lives. Even going through the dating phase, I hope that he's just a gentleman. And if there is ever a time where he has to be disrespectful, that he walks away before it gets to that point. Plus he'll have rain. Rain is
I feel so bad for the kids today, because today is so demonic, it's so not holy. There ain't nothing holy about nothing that's going on out here in this world. I look at my son. My son is very handsome. Half of these girls out here ain't girls. They trannies. We gotta watch, we gotta check for this type shit. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of my son, he just got a job.
Congratulations.
So we working now. We working man. I said, oh, both my kids got jobs. My presence is gonna be bomb this year.
That's what's up. Congratulations on that.
And he went out and got his job. Like, he pulled up, interviewed, and everything on his own. I was like, you trying to grow up, little boy?
Tell us your grandson's name. Just for the
mine?
No. You said Kyori. I said Samori.
Mine's is Lamone.
Lamone.
That is funny.
So,
AKA Stinky.
I know. I'm free man because he's becoming a little man. He's moving so fast. So I'm like, oh,
they do.
Going through because she got a journey.
They pick up on
Well,
so much. They really
and,
do.
and then my daughter, she's the operating room nurse. So she starts at work at like 6 in the morning. So on the days that he don't go to the north side, I have to watch him and work. It's
Yeah,
very challenging. This is the stuff I be talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably that step. He's what, 1?
Yeah, he'll be 2 October 30th.
Oh, so he's terrible too.
He's been terrible too.
Been terrible too.
This is before part 1.
I think boys are a total. To me, boys are a different breed. My son let me know I don't need more kids. And I'm going to be honest. He definitely know that I was done. Like that was enough. He said, "I am your fitness plan, and I am your end." And
My son didn't like. He was a crybaby for a while, but then he got to sports, so he was cool. Like, and then my son is like, pull out my chairs, hold my hand, rub my feet, kiss me, kiss my fat arms, tell me I'm beautiful, the whole 9. So I just did one. I only wanted one, but then when she came, she looked like him. I'm like, what the fuck? I need one that look like me. Like, what's going on here? So I said I'll do it one more time, and I hope this one look like me, because that's it. And I got my little 20 twin, and I was like, all right, I got a boy and a girl. That's the best of both worlds. What's the point in doing it again?
But there ain't nothing like becoming a grandmother.
Nothing at all.
Like
it's a different kind of love. And everybody kept telling me that. And I was like, I ain't gonna love nothing more than I love my kids.
It's a whole
until my little stinky.
It's not even on the same level of that. It's
I'm like, they chop liver. We're in the ocean and I gotta save one person.
It's a high that you can't even describe, because it gives you that feeling of completeness. Like, oh my goodness. And honestly, they don't even pay me no attention, because I'm like, I can't wait for the next one. Like, this is just like, like racing them, like, oh honey.
I'll say, man,
I want no more. I want no more. He's enough for now.
I love it. I think I love it.
I love it too.
I love what I love.
But I need to pace myself. I don't got a lot of patience. So I can't have a whole bunch of kids running around me. Somebody get put out on the porch. I
am watching this story unfold. I am watching a life blossom. I'm watching.
And the craziest thing is you can contribute to the creation of their destiny, or to the setup of their destiny.
Yeah, like I don't have,
better this time.
Like I was buried in the moment, because I was there. I was the moment.
Yeah.
Now I'm the grandmother, and I can actually be the one to be like, okay, no, we're going to make cookies and we're going to do this, and then I could back out toys and send you with your mom, and
that's what makes it so special.
Juice them up and then send them right on. Like, the kids was like test dummies, you know what I'm saying? Like they made it through, thank goodness. And the grandkids is like that brand new 2022 car that you got. You like, yeah, we ride. Let me get my glasses.
I shopaholic.
We out here.
Well, I thank y'all a lot for joining me and having this conversation about becoming first-time grandmas, 2 grandsons.
We need to have a grandma party, y'all.
We can do that. We find any reason to have a get together, right?
Grandma's only.
How did that happen? How did we all get boys?
Hot grandma check-in, right?
Right.
Hey, grandma.
Hey.
But thank y'all again. And
hold on. He just walked in the door. Look.
Oh, did he? Y'all at the same time. Look, here he goes. Oh, look at them. Hi.
See the baby?
I say hi.
I ain't calling Samori down.
The baby?
He can stay upstairs with his mama right now.
He said, "Oh, baby." They done the fries in the
I'll put him in the thumbnail or something. I ain't calling Samori down here.
When you having another happy hour?
He'll come down here and be like, bang, 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 trying to fight and play and throw balls and stuff.
Like all in it.
I'm gonna have another happy hour soon. Denisha's going back to school in a couple of weeks, so I'll probably have something before she goes back to school.
Okay.
And then then my birthday's in September. And
of course.
Debs is coming up. By the time I get this done,
August, right?
Nope.
first is Saturday.
Last week.
Saturday. It's the end of July. Because you're a Leo, right?
Yes.
I knew that. I knew something.
When does
What
August
you
hit?
doing?
Yeah, Wanda's is August.
Going
That's
out
I'm
in
gonna end
August.
this. I'm gonna end this. We're gonna talk outside of this.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have to edit all of this stuff.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Love. Peace.
Love you.
Talk to y'all later.
Say peace.
Oh, where are you?